Your work technology should help your organization run better. Monday.com is an intuitive platform designed to help teams of all sizes work better together and maximize results. With Monday.com, you can easily customize your workflows to fit your team's exact needs and create automated updates to keep everyone up to speed in real time. Experience the power of a single platform that replaces your costly tech toolbox and the headache that comes with it. To start your 14-day free trial, go to Monday.com.
Access granted.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. How is everybody doing?
I'm beautiful, mate. And Dave looks possessed.
He does look possessed. He's been a bit weird tonight, actually, if I'm perfectly honest. He's been like sticking his head all up close to the camera.
I know
and
you've
stuff.
just missed so many good moments because you didn't hit record earlier.
Well, now when I said, hello, everybody, how are you all doing? You made me look like a liar because obviously we've been talking before the podcast started.
That's what happens in every podcast, though, isn't it? They're just
everybody. Yeah,
they're all filthy liars.
But the people don't know that.
Then they're stupid.
Yes, most people are stupid. Yeah. I will be perfectly honest, because we're recording a day earlier today. I've had a busy week as well, and I have no fucking idea what we're going to talk about tonight.
Living in the shadow. We're living with shadows, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dave had the idea of talking about shadow people, and obviously I know what shadow people are. But for you to want to bring it up, Dave, you must have something to say about it.
No, not at all. I was just throwing out a topic idea. I really got to be honest. I was surprised you latched onto it. I'm embarrassed. I figured someone would easily one up that. You guys didn't say anything. Now I'm in kind of a state of panic.
Just lie.
Up on I mean, Johnny Depp and the Amber Heard trials just kind of had me enraptured. I'm just behind the 8 ball on that.
Is that not over yet?
No,
I honestly don't know. I made that. I don't actually watch that.
My wife does.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ! It's driving me nuts.
There's little bits of everything right now. There's little bits of everything because everybody from UFO summits to Amber Heard for people which have had like lobotomies and stuff like that. I think that's to distract those people. Yeah. And it's all to stop people looking online about the what's going on at Davos right now.
Those are a bunch of... It's bad. That's bad. That's all bad.
In about 4 days' time, in the event of an emergency, like a health emergency.
You mean like monkeypox?
Maybe.
Can we talk about that now, or should we not even say that because it'll be banned?
I think it'll be banned soon. It's probably not banned yet. I reckon it's on the way. I'm still not sure whether this is going to be like another. You know, now and again you'll get those news articles that pop up like murder wasps expected in the next summer. You know, and it'll show like a picture of a camel, and then next to the camel will be like a half-sized camel wasp that they reckon is going to come over from the Sahara. So is it going to be like that and disappear? Is it going to be something bigger? I don't know. I'm not willing to put a bet on it right now. But you can rest assured it's there to keep people fucking scared. It's there to keep attention on something, on the Great Reset.
Just a couple of boils on the face, you know. I mean, as long as you've not got, as long as you're not too vain, you know. Don't
squeeze them. Don't squeeze them, won't scar.
Yeah, you just leave them. Leave the boils.
Yeah.
Maybe rub some. Well, apparently it's the cure for everything. A bit of, you know, if I ever get like a little blemish, I've got a bit of cannabis.
You're going to talk about cum
oil. No,
Yeah, he's definitely talking about cum.
Yeah.
like I could have bought that, for all I know, but it does smell like cannabis. The stuff that I've bought.
What is going on with your supermarkets over there? What the hell are you people selling?
There's a guy I know, my mate Dave.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
He's got some great cannabis oil, and you put it. If you got, I had a burn on my thumb.
Salty.
I had a burn on my thumb. Put it on, and honestly, the swelling went down. So if I get these boils, I'm rubbing my face with cannabis.
Right.
Still hearing cum.
I'm still hearing cum. It's like
I've already invented
this guy Dave. He's always got it, but it's really weird. Like he can give me a little bit, then I've got to wait like 2 hours, and then he can give me a little bit more.
Yeah, like half an ounce at a time, quarter of an ounce. Is he a big shooter?
They are big boils, though. I mean, you're rightly.
He's a big boy.
All you have to do to avoid monkeypox is not have sex with someone who has monkeypox and stay away from their food.
I thought you said don't have sex with a monkey. I mean,
that too. I mean, I would start with that. Yeah, I would start with that.
Most of the jungle animals.
What do you mean most?
Well,
there's some that are better than others.
I don't know. I don't.
You a speciesist?
No, that's the thing. I don't claim to be like a what's the word?
Approved.
A monkeypox specialist.
I don't know. There must be a word for a collective.
Oh God, if we're having this conversation now, and in 2 years' time we're having a very serious conversation about fucking monkeypox, I'm going to shoot myself.
It's all kinds of shit, but.
You can't shoot yourself. You live in the UK. You don't have access to firearms.
Okay, no, you're
whatever
wrong.
you do is going to be slow and painful. It's not
David.
Quick.
David, you are wrong. I've got a very good patent catapult that's very powerful that a friend of mine gave me.
The thing is, though, I think in the UK we don't have guns in the UK. Not because people are worried that we're going to shoot each other. It's because every day you wake up, you look at the news. 15 or 20 people would just end themselves by 8:30 if we had guns over here.
Makes traffic a little better in the mornings.
If you
it would make sense.
Can you imagine, Lee, if there was guns in the UK?
There are.
I mean, you can just walk into a pub and get the fuck knocked out of you for pulling the wrong face in the UK.
I did a gig in London I can't remember. It wasn't the Joseph's Well. Not Joseph's Well, it's Leeds. It wasn't Dublin. Was it Dublin Castle? It might have been Dublin Castle. Anyway, the halfway through the gig was not stopped. Just it was brought to our attention as we were on stage that in the corner of this venue there was people wrestling. I would say a 6'8" black dude to the ground who came in with a machete to kill one of the people that was in the venue we were playing in.
Who needs guns?
No, you don't. You don't go big with the machete. You go small with the knife. No one sees that.
Yeah, mate.
Dramatic. Otherwise,
yeah. Well, I mean, it was pretty dramatic, but yeah, it was fucking weird. But yeah, as for what's going on, I have no fucking idea. I can see the roadway to lockdowns. I can see it there.
Yeah, Belgium's already having them.
Well, no, Belgium got quarantine, like enforced quarantine if you're sick, which I think is fucking stupid. If you're sick, you stay home. That's always been the way for my whole fucking life.
Just from the monkeys.
Well, no, just any. If you got flu, yeah, when you were like, I don't know, 18, let's say, not that long ago, but long enough that it's time. If you got flu, you went, oh, I don't feel too good. I'm going to stay home because I feel better when I'm at home. You weren't like thinking, I'm going to stay home to stop other people getting sick. You stayed home because you felt bad. And that's what people have always done and will continue to do. Apart from now I'm just a twat. If I get something, I'm going to go and hug as many people as possible.
At least you have a purpose.
Exactly, yeah. Super spreader.
Yeah.
Super spreader, that sounds like something that a mum would get for the toast on a morning, like a unique invention. a super spreader, or a dad might get for his wife that's not putting out.
My mother was a lady and is certainly not a super spreader. I can't what I was going to say.
I thought that's called wine.
What?
Super spreader.
What do you mean?
Oh no, that's the opposite effect. It's super sleeper.
Okay then.
If we're talking in code, you know.
No, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Monkeypox. Who cares? You're right. It's all just a distraction. You know, why is this Johnny Depp Amber Heard everywhere and the Ghislaine Maxwell was not? Or Ghislaine. You know, that's all sealed. And all that footage is gone. All that. It's all distractions. It's all distractions. Yeah. You know, there's fuel shortages, worldwide power shortages, coal shortages, food shortages, shipping shortages, and it's all starting to come to that head, and they just want people to focus on anything else.
Do you still remember? I mean, we're backtracking a little bit now.
I will tell you, though, Lee, that Dave is lying about the shadow people. He knows damn well what they are.
Of course he does. We're going to get to shadow people in a split second. I think the finding out Jeffrey Epstein had been Epsteined in his cell is almost, and maybe it's because like I have been, for want of better words, balls deep in this sort of stuff for a long time.
Yes, I like it.
And I still remember where I was when that notification came through that he'd been found dead, and I remember I was in the gym. It came through my watch, and I was in the sauna when it came through. I remember looking at my watch, seeing like how it's only broken down, isn't it, on Apple Watches? So you just get like the very beginning of a headline, and I just read like the headline, which just gave the gist of found dead in cell, killed himself. I remember thinking to myself, the bastards are going to get away with this. They're all going to get away with it. I have never, ever been so upset about something in my entire life. Like I've never felt like the rug was taken so far from under me as when I thought, oh, right, okay, the rule of law does not matter anymore.
Has it ever?
I don't know. Maybe I'm naive. I do live on a small country bumpkin island, but maybe it's in the same way of I've got that vague, and I know I will get let down with this, but I've got that vague hope that Musk might be one of the good guys, and like Rogan might want to be one of the good guys and that sort of stuff. But I kind of know that realistically, those guys, to get to where they are, probably have to be in the club as well.
Can you imagine if they're the main bad guys? You know,
that would make sense. I mean, he is launching his own fucking interstellar network, and he wants to put chips in people's heads. Like,
yeah,
are you gonna get one of them, Dave?
Fuck no, absolutely not, man. I'm all natural. I have no intentions. People like, I want to get the thing because they can download your mind and I'll live forever. All right.
Do you think the with something like that? Sorry, Lee. I know we're digressing from the.
No. It's cool. It's a
topic, but
we can always. It's not live. We can always change the title of the episode.
Yeah, this is very true. Why don't I do that on Alien Identity?
Why do you bother putting out an original name?
Do you think that something like Neuralink could go so far as, because let's face it, every man and his dog is becoming a creator now, with the TikToks and all that bollocks and YouTube, everything.
4,700.
Where they make it very difficult for you to become a creator unless you would have something like Neuralink. Because the way it goes, you would need to interact within you.
They wouldn't have to make it that way. it's just a pushing and evolving of technology. The same thing will happen with VR and in the metaverse when that lands, because if when you think about it, if you were a writer, for instance, in days of yore, you would sit and you would write a book. You would hand write a book. Then as soon as we got towards the printing press and printing, we would type things, and then that gave us the ability to put things out in a larger volume. And then these things came along, these computer things. And then all of a sudden you didn't need to do that. You could do all of it from one thing. So that would be like now saying, could you be a creator without a laptop? Well, you could, but you massively, massively shrink the audience you could possibly have. Then you look at things like TikTok and stuff like that. Could you be a creator without a mobile phone? And yeah, you could be a creator with a mobile phone, but then you don't have that instant access to social media, which again limits your reach. So yeah, at some point you will still be able to be a creator without a Neuralink or without being in a metaverse, but your reach will be so stagnant that there's no point in you doing it.
I think the next thing that'll be the big thing, if Neuralink takes off, they'll be wanting not content creation. I think for a lot of people, it's like you're getting a snippet of this fake reality you believe other people live. So that's what people want. Well, then they can manufacture, like with Neuralink, you could live the experience this person lives. You could be Johnny Depp with Amber Heard, or you'll have celebrities like that. Their most profitable thing might be some crazy experience they have and make a royalty off of it that the normal people buy for $9.99 and can experience whenever they want.
Mm-hmm.
How many of Elon Musk's thingies, his things, how many of his little ventures have worked and how many haven't worked?
Well, that's the standard thing about any entrepreneur, though. I won't hold them to that. Entrepreneurs, they'll have 100 businesses and 99 of them fail.
Oh, no,
That's
but
the
Dave, to the audience of Elon Musk,
mm-hmm.
How many of those fails do you hear about? Because I can't think of any right now.
Eternals,
the boring,
the boring
roof, solar tiles.
Yeah, but the boring company, that was just like the battery. It was a fuck about. It was a fuck about.
It was a major investment of hundreds of millions of dollars.
What? The boring company.
Yeah. You're just thinking of the
flamethrower.
Flamethrower,
yeah. He wanted to build a hyperloop tunnel underground.
Oh yes, I remember that.
That's where,
the batteries, the Tesla batteries that were going to go in everybody's homes.
Okay.
Yeah,
bad
but
point.
He keeps trying. I like that.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, but when the two things you do, or three things you're involved in, are successful, i.e.,
SpaceX, Tesla,
PayPal. PayPal changed the way we do online transactions for people like me and you. It's essentially having a middleman to handle things, so you're not always doing things through your bank account. SpaceX, which is making fucking rocket ships now. Mm-hmm. Regardless, and there is definitely, I know there's flat earthers listen to this show, and I know the flat earthers are going to say, oh yeah, but they're not going anywhere. Okay. Even if they're not going anywhere, let's take space out of it. He's still making rocket ships and sending them somewhere. And then electric cars.
Yeah.
I had a deep thought about flat Earth.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's right and wrong? We're really four-dimensional creatures, and we perceive everything in three dimensions, even though we live in time, right? That's our fourth.
Mm-hmm.
What if whatever beings are above us are fifth or sixth dimensional beings? They probably perceive three dimensions, even four dimensions, is like we perceive two dimensions as flat. So if maybe the explanation that came from them or is translated to them or somehow interpreted, that's why so many lower beings in the start of so many religions had that at the basis, the start of it. It's because that's the information they were conveyed. It wasn't wrong, but it wasn't right. It's just right from the right perspective.
Misinterpreting the words of the gods.
Yeah, or who said that they speak English at all? Voice from a fiery bush. Did he just hear it in his head? Is it direct projection? If you're a higher being, why would you bother making words? And then how could our little simple brains be able to process something that's just that big and beyond us? Kind of like, Ezekiel in the ceiling of emerald and the burning wheels with wheels within wheels and eyes and wings and all the different beasts' heads and mouth. Like, it's crazy. Just to give a biblical reference and to keep it show that there's some little bit of unified going on is when you go to Revelations at the end and John's there and he gets swept up, the floors of heaven are emerald green. So it shows you that before Ezekiel was below the floor. And then the actions of the New Testament allowed John to be in the room. And even then, he doesn't make much sense when he's able to see, because maybe he's limited. He's limited in his understanding and explanation. I don't know. Just a thought. I think about that often. Maybe they're right and wrong. Because I was reading a thing talking about the expanding universe, and scientists are trying to figure out everything seems to be separating and moving away from us. We're not part of it. It's going away from us. And they're like, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Things are also moving at variable speeds, which makes even less sense. I don't know, man. A lot of mystery in the world.
There can't be one flat earther out there that trusts Elon Musk.
Wouldn't have thought so.
Who knows? But I don't know. That's neither here nor there. I don't think it's flat. I definitely went down that rabbit hole for a while. I was like, well, I'm gonna look all this through, and I came out the other side. It's like, no, it's definitely not.
It's a fun one.
I loved it.
My favorite rabbit hole to keep disappearing down now is the Tartarian Empire, and the idea that history's being hidden, and there was a global, highly technically advanced civilization that was on the earth like 500 years ago. That since stopped and then through various control mechanisms hidden through various wars destroyed. It's really interesting. There's some real meat to it when you look at some of the architecture on certain buildings all over the world. I don't mean like Mayan pyramids and stuff like that. I mean that sort of what do we call it?
I know what you're talking about. The doily look.
Yeah, is it Greco?
Classical, that classical architecture. Yeah,
we'll go Gothic.
Victorian, the Victorian looking.
Yeah. And
the same thing they put into a lot of movies. That some of the sci-fi movies have that look to it. The Blade Runner has that look to it. Even though you've got the cyberpunk, you've still got that classic look to some of the stuff, especially in the new one, which I actually liked. A lot of people didn't like that. I did like it.
Did I bring this up in the last podcast?
I don't know.
I think maybe
the hologram.
Yeah. You talked about the Tartarian. I agree that there's. I don't know. Well, I don't know that I agree with that. I agree that I agree to the extent that I believe that there's been past civilizations that were far more advanced and had a different understanding of things than we do now, and for whatever reason they were deleted.
Yeah.
And I kind of think it's happened more than once. And I don't know that I understand, but at some point when I'm done with not done, but I need one more book in the series I'm writing now. And then I'm going to start writing a book series about that. So,
cool.
Yeah. But we'll see. It's interesting. There's a lot of things out there.
Did we mention Antarctica when we were talking about this last time?
I think we did. Yeah.
Because what if that is the only place that's actually advanced? The only can you imagine if this is true, this theory, and that we're just living in old like recycled buildings over and over again? Is that what this kind of theory is, Lee? Is that what some of them we're kind of living in the same old shit over and over again? Every 500 years we still keep recycling this same old building. what if Antarctica is the place where, they all go and it's all the modern shit, the buildings don't even, it is that space look, that Admiral Byrd apparently talked about.
I do think it's weird they all make pilgrimages there. So many people do. And they come back different, you know what I mean? I kind of wonder if there's pieces of old holdover technology or they found something. One, we know there's covert bases down there because the Fitbit debacle kind of showed that. It showed the fucking security patterns and sweep patterns and rotations of everyone who had one, and there's a bunch of them down there that nobody talk about. That was huge. Huge. You can see the security rotation at Area 51 down to like as they make it, like where they are. And where I live, there's some facilities like that, and it was a big deal there too. Now those guys, when they go out, they can't even take their cell phones with them. No smartwatches, no Fitbits, no cell phones, no nothing. That was
I wonder why.
one. Because it tracks their location, and if they're part of like I need to stay healthy, and a lot of those guys in security, they're like, hey, I need to maintain a certain level of fitness. The Fitbit helps me track that. It's fun, but if you didn't modify the settings, it automatically uploaded it, and it also gave your GPS with your phone, so you could see where this person was walking. You can see the maps of all over the world where people like to walk. But then you can go out in the middle of the Utah desert and find something that's nothing there, and you find a dozen people that are constantly walking these same corridors. Something's there. Something nobody wants you to know about is there.
I refuse to ever get one of those.
Yeah, me too. I'm not doing that. I hate my cell phone. I wish I could go back to a flip phone.
Lee's got one on his wrist, I can tell.
No, I don't. Well, I only wear it when
he's owned one.
Doing something. I've got two. I've got Huawei one somewhere in the house as well. Oof. They know everything about me.
You tell them all the freaky stuff.
Yeah, they can fucking time me down to jerks per minute.
I would whisper things into the microphone at night if it was me.
In Chinese, so it understands me. Yeah. So right, back on topic, because I can see something on the bottom of the screen, and I feel Dave's got something to show us.
Well, and to give that there, I never heard of these guys until Ollie. It's the Ghost Tech Paranormal guys. They have the best shadow people proof I have ever seen. I mean, ever.
My good friends.
Are you guys good friends?
Yeah,
that's nice. You're such a sweetheart. Nobody.
So me and Jeff used to ring each other pretty much every day through the lockdowns because we were both at home. We'd speak. He would come on after a show, and he would just get drunk with me.
I used to do that, Dave. Ollie used to ask me to go and get drunk with him after shows. Yeah. I didn't get any phone calls during lockdowns.
I gotta be honest, Ollie's never asked me to do that, and he's never called me.
No.
Shows me where I am on that hierarchy.
That was a good podcast, guys. I'll see you
I guess I gotta go. Thanks, Ollie.
Right.
No, these guys have some of the best video evidence I've ever seen. In fact, their video evidence is what formed a very new theory of mine. And me and my friends at Black Star Paranormal are working it over, but we're not going to release that theory just yet because it'll be fucking hijacked.
I don't know if I've seen this one, Dave. This
is their shadow people. You guys are good, dude. I hope he doesn't mind. You think he'll give a shit?
He won't mind at all.
He Jeff, seems like a really nice guy. Actually,
we'll definitely get Jeff on. Dave, by the way, Jeff was actually on the show when he had a few drinks after the show. I would definitely have you on drinking with me after the show, but I would drink you under the table. I would drink you under the table.
You would never
under the table. Under the table. We'll see.
No, that's not even. Dude, half of a 750 milliliter bottle is my warm up. Just a warm up. I wish I was joking. I mean, it sounds like I have a problem, and I know I do.
That's an invite, Lee. That's an invite.
I like that you're there for the challenge, but
Me and Lee are going to both turn up at your door one
before
day.
I play this, it has nothing to do with it. But did I tell you guys I won liquor at a raffle? That I
No, you didn't.
My club's.
That's a great prize.
So I put it in a $10 ticket, and I won like almost 70 bottles of alcohol.
Nice. What's
really nice?
Is it different types?
Oh yeah. It's a huge spectrum. And me and my friends, our private little club, like I just stocked all the booze. I wish I could say like we're good for the next couple of years. We're not. We'll probably be up in 3 months. We're alcoholics. It's actually not funny.
No,
but,
but it's higher functioning alcoholics. That it's different.
Oh no, we're dangerous. it's yeah. Oh well. Such is life. So check this out. So this guy, they genuinely have the best.
Dave, do me oh wow.
You see that?
Pause that, wind it back. I was just going to say, make sure Lee gets this so he can put it in the description, because Jeff doesn't mind, but he said people share it as long as it goes in the description.
Oh, yeah. Anyone listening, Ghost Tech Paranormal, their video, dude, they're such an underrated channel. Of all the paranormal channels out there, I cannot figure out why they're not.
Do you know he's not monetized at all? And I asked him to monetize, and he said no, because it would. What did he say? He said people wouldn't take us seriously if I monetized the channel. So she make nothing off it.
I got to be honest, we're going to monetize the shit out of ours, dude. We're already working out merch to sell.
I agree.
Jeff works 40 plus hours. I think he works more hours than I do. And his mum that helped do the show, she's passed away recently. Mm-hmm. But she helped she did a lot of stuff for the show. I can't remember what he said that she did, but she did quite a lot of the research for the show. His mother did, but she was knocking on a bit and she's passed away. But they don't make a penny off this show. There's no monetization, and all the locations that they go to, they pay for with their real jobs. Nothing, no monitoring, nothing other than it when people approach them that like TV companies and said, "Can we use this footage?" And then he'll sell it for like a few thousand,
which is nothing. His like this footage I'm about to roll through is some of the best footage, and I'm a bit of a connoisseur of these things, and he's got it. But like I said, this particular video, this episode 93, is also what helped me form out a very distinct opinion about shadow people and the paranormal in general. Look at that thing. See if I can get it to move. Watch it. Boom.
That when it's at the bottom, when it's underneath the camera,
looks like it has mass.
It does. Yeah, it turns it.
That's something.
That it's 1 minute's a shadow. And then it does, you're right, Lee. It turns into like it has structure. It's like
it's like it's phasing into reality.
Or it's
I've
just
not
passing
seen
through.
This one.
Yeah, I've watched all of his stuff.
Just play that again, please, Dave.
Let's not do that. Watch the right-hand side. You see it starting right there?
I always feel that people that start recording then start walking downstairs like this. I always feel it's a setup.
Well, they're just more comfortable with their cameras. I don't know why it's slowing down on me when I like that he ate shit right there. It's a very natural reaction.
Is this one of the houses that they investigated that somebody sent this in?
I don't think so.
Because that's what happens a lot. People send stuff into them and then...
somebody definitely sent it in. Look at that. It's a void and then it's gone. And that's a super common report of people always just kind of seeing them peep around corners. This is a good one to watch too. See it?
That looked like a shadow of someone though.
This?
I know that's, but yeah.
Maybe.
That's on a.
But let's see. From the lighting, it's probably off and to his right because you can see his shadow cast behind him in that IR light, right? So it would be back off in here. Yeah, I mean, it could be, but he doesn't react to anyone else being in the room.
The only issue I have with that is because that's not. That's a what you call it camera. Xbox Connect camera.
This yeah.
And
is that a Connect? I don't think so because it didn't show an outline. The Connect do the dots.
Yeah, they do.
I know they do have one. They have one of those.
Yeah, I know they do, but that's not one of that. That just looked like an IR camera.
Because I think it's even got his little logo-y thing there. Seems to be an Xbox.
Maybe.
Isn't it amazing that Microsoft's failure of tech for a games console has
became a massive hit with the paranormal?
Not just the paranormal. He's done all sorts, like for science and doctors and stuff like that, doing all sorts of things with it. Yeah,
the hardware on that, the hardware for how much it costs, is
amazing,
insane. There was just no good thing for it. The crazy thing is now, if they'd have kept it under the hat, not tried to put it out with like nonsense fucking Wii type games, they could have dropped that camera with a VR headset and had full body tracking in VR.
Huh. I don't play video games. I know nothing about it. But I paused this one because I did not want this to be missed.
You would fucking shit yourself.
Look at that.
I mean,
this is composed. This is obviously from CNN. Check that out.
That's Michael Jackson's house.
Is it?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
See, inside Neverland.
Yeah.
Lee's been there, you know.
I believe that.
I think how old are you? 12? 6?
I was a little bit old for his taste, weren't you?
Yeah. I was just a butler.
Ah.
But I still got fucked. But
in the butt? That's why you were the butler. I thought that was the joke. Yeah, I mean, they have a collection here of just some of the best stuff. This channel is wholly underrated for some of the things they pull through.
Did you see the one, Dave? I do have actually a screenshot of it that's for some reason still saved in the StreamYard. Did you see this one, Dave? And it was at they were taking loads of pictures.
Mm-hmm, they're full spectrum.
And this thing, you kind of see it like it looks like smoke, and then it's there on the camera because they're taking loads of pictures in this church, and then that one's there.
See, I don't think shadow people are ghosts. Not what people think are ghosts anyway.
I don't believe in ghosts. Like I don't believe people can die and stay behind. I agree. Maybe there's something with like residual energy, or people talk about large quartz deposits be essentially acting like a large hard drive that can save moments in time that keep replaying. But in the same way as that, if you you can't control when you die or not. You know, it's when you're dying, you're about to die. I don't believe that something so final, you then get the choice to like hang around afterwards if you want. You're pulled somewhere at that point.
I totally agree. I believe that there are things that, and I've told Ollie this in the past, I believe there are things that pretend to be people because they want to communicate.
I didn't believe in these things until I actually saw. I've seen, I think 3 now of these that I think I've told it on the show. I think I've told both you two before, have I not?
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
No, yeah, you go. You should do it now since we're in the mindset of these things.
So the first one that I saw was before Alien Addict, and I got up in the middle of the night. This is what my wife told me. I do have a memory of this, so I don't think it was a dream.
You pissed in the cupboard, didn't you?
I did once piss in the bin though, in the room. That is true story. That's for another show.
Good for you making it in the bin.
It was a straw bin as well. So you piss in a straw bin, the carpet's fucked.
Actually, it's been pissed on.
But I apparently I was sat up in bed and I was looking straight ahead, and my wife woke up, which was weird as well that she woke up because I'm trying to think now why if I'm stood up in bed not making any sound and nothing can wake my wife, nothing, and she looks at me and I'm just upright. I will. Next time she's down here, I'm going to get her to tell this story to you guys. So the audience might think I'm bullshitting, but I don't want you to think I'm bullshitting. I was staring.
He just wants to make his wife look like a liar, not him.
Yeah, exactly. I was staring at the bottom of the bed, and she said, "What you doing? What's wrong?" And I said, "There's something sat at the bottom of the bed." And my wife gets really scared at anything. Even if I'm joking about something, I can like show her a clip on a movie and she's like, "Oh, turn that off. She hates anything to do with that. So me just saying that to her apparently like freaked her out. She's like, "Are you scaring me?" And then I said, "Don't worry." And I used these words, "It's nice." That's what I said to her. That's what she tells me I said. And I can kind of remember that I remember something being on the edge of the bed, and I don't know how long I was staring at this for, but I almost got a sense that it was my best friend. My best friend died when he was 24 in a car accident. And I don't know if I didn't get a feeling that was him, but I got a feeling that it was something. It almost felt something like something I knew. So I thought
it meant you no harm.
Yeah, but it was completely black, and that I can remember. I told Serena that there's something on the edge of that's what I could remember. There was something on the edge of the bed, and it was a completely blacked out figure. And the way I have it in my head, the thing was bald, no hair, it's completely bald. And the other one, Dave, was not so nice, and that was after I met you, if you remember me telling you the story.
I think it was partially my fault.
And there was a period of time where my wife watched our first interview, which I still have recorded. I need to show you this, Lee. It's
what are you talking about? We've never done a.
But we're allowed to talk about that now. No, we're not. Still not allowed to talk about. No, we've never. No, we've never. It's not on the show anyway. It's been taken down.
That thing that never happened.
The thing that never happened.
The thing that never happened. Nothing recorded. Nothing recorded.
The thing that never happened.
There was a random guy on my
channel. Do you
channel,
write Joe Biden speeches?
I'm kind of thinking he does. He's the brain trust.
Right. Anyway, so I met this guy that I tried to do an interview with. It didn't work because every time he spoke about something that was weird,
I was like, "Come on, man!"
The video would stop recording, which was very strange. Yeah. So after that event, I had I think it was about 3 weeks of fucking oddness in this house. You're talking lights switching on and off, on and off. This was the craziest thing I've ever had happen.
I would think that guy probably warned you about that.
That guy did. He did warn me about it.
Sounds like a fair, intelligent man.
I'll have to introduce you to him so you can get him on your channel.
Sounds like he has a very large penis.
But to cut a long story short, I think it was about a week after this interview that I did with him. I woke up in the same situation, but I can remember this like it was tomorrow. And I looked in the corner of the hallway. So my door to the bedroom was open.
Mm-hmm.
And
you told me.
Have you seen Insidious?
I don't watch scary movies.
When there's that red thing on the ceiling.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but it was almost like that. There was something on the fucking ceiling, but it was stood up in the hallway. So, but it was like that. So its head was almost at the ceiling. And as I were looking at it, so this thing must have been about 8 feet fucking tall. It was massive because that's a stairway. Mm-hmm. So it goes down a few stairs and then goes down some more stairs. So this thing was stood where the stairs had gone down a dip and still was touching the fucking ceiling and looking at me. No eyes. I didn't see any eyes. I don't think I saw eyes anyway. It didn't, which is why I think it could have been a dream, but it just felt so fucking real, honestly.
No. But when did it stop? When, is it, it's not like you walk
Dave
past
told me,
Simon.
Dave told me to fucking clean my house. Not the Dave that's not here, the other Dave.
No.
It's a very common name.
When you saw it.
Dan the man. Dan the man, the paranormal man, he told me about cleaning my house. And I said to the missus, we need to fucking clean the house.
No, but when you saw it, when did it disappear when you saw it?
Yeah. When did the encounter end? When you blinked, when you turned your head away, would you go back into your room?
I don't know. That I can't remember.
Did you wake up with your clothes disheveled?
I don't remember it. I don't remember seeing this thing disappear.
Did your butt hurt?
I don't speak about this on my show because it sounds like I'm lying, but I'm on Lee's show.
I got to be honest, it actually sounds like you're telling the truth because like we were talking earlier, why don't people take pictures of UFOs? When you have a legitimately bizarre encounter that is so outside the fucking norm. It's like, Lee, when you saw the little house with smoke come out, why didn't you take a picture?
It was before camera phones.
Would you? Or would you just rain your ass out of that house?
I don't know. I think I'd take a picture.
Do you know my mobile phone never entered my head?
Yeah. Well, why would it? I
don't know if I was asleep. I just know I was in the room. I was in the bed. I got up again. I think I must have sat up because I had to have sat up to have seen out into the hallway. Because if I'm laid down, you can't see out into the hallway. You could probably see the banister of the stairway. That's it. But you can't see the corner where it dips down. That would be impossible.
Maybe that Dan guy planted a suggestion deep in your psyche. And it just manifested that way. Guy sounds like a dick.
I was going to say after the second interview, it went away. Never seen.
Maybe it was just verifying Dan's story. Who knows?
Maybe. But what I was going to say was maybe we've all done it where you get wrapped up, especially doing this sort of stuff, and then you get onto these sort of topics. Your mind can wander afterwards. I don't know whether it's that because immediately you likened it to the thing from Insidious. So that's a fucking scary film, Insidious.
I wasn't scared, Lee. I wasn't scared, and this thing looks cynical as hell in my head now thinking of it. But I was not scared at all. Both times, not scared. So
we get Dio on here, who's my counterpoint. He's got some fucking stories that will curl your toes. It's just one of the things, man. The nature of reality is, I think it is not what we've been led to believe.
That's what I think is weird, though, why I wasn't scared.
Maybe you didn't have cause to be.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, even if your son jumps out on you, it'll shock you. You know,
Yeah.
we can be scared by things that don't necessarily have harm for us.
I've nearly launched one of them little twats out the window once for jumping in the bed on a night because I didn't know who the hell it was.
Maybe the reason you got out of bed to go look at it is it wanted you to get out of bed and come look at it.
Well, I didn't get out of bed. I sat up in bed.
Maybe that's why you sat up in bed. Maybe you looked at it because it wanted you to look at it. Maybe it woke you up for that purpose.
That happened to Dan Aykroyd, didn't it? With a UFO.
Mm-hmm. He's not the only one who has that story. There's a British singer. He was in a boy band. I can't think of the guy's fucking name.
Brian Harvey.
Nah, it's not him. I'll know his name when I hear it. It was a really big boy band, and he's like a grown-ass man. Yep, Robbie Williams. He has a UFO story that was very similar. Like it made him, like he went to the window and he didn't know why.
He's huge on UFOs. Like he's a massive UFO guy.
Yeah, he's
spent time with Carl Bell.
Yeah, he's been out to Skinwalker Ranch.
Yep,
he got a private invite on the jet on the new owner's jet.
Not being funny, if there's a fucking club out there, Robbie Williams is definitely in it.
There's a club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if there's a club out there for
likes to buy
those celebrity types, like the guy that leaves Take That and becomes a massive solo star, which can barely write his own name, let alone a song.
He's definitely very bright.
He's definitely in that club.
Maybe.
Well, Angels did well.
Yeah, it wasn't his song though. He had songwriters.
Oh, did he? Fair enough.
That was the song that apparently attracted the UFOs. So this is the main guy right here, right? I believe so.
Yeah, that's Jeff.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, Jeff.
Because their light is directly behind them the way it took off to the left. I mean, this just their episode 93 is just filled with some of the best stuff. I mean, just straight up some of the best stuff. And this, interestingly enough, this direct scene is what's formed my recent opinion on shadow people and the paranormal, and why I think most ghost hunters are doing it wrong.
Go on.
I think their entire approach is wrong. Whole approach. I think it's wrong. And that's why they can't get anything substantial. The best sensor in the world is a human. You're the best biosensor that's ever exist. You can detect fluctuations in the magnetic field, air pressure, barometric pressure, humidity, temperature. You can see in an incredibly broad spectrum. And believe it or not, your skin acts as an electrolytic conductor. It can tell when electricity is in the air. That's how you can feel static charge. You are the best sensor. We rely on all this extra shit because we want proof. We've only been watching this a few minutes, and that's a shitload of proof. That's a shitload of proof that something bizarre is going on. Now, I don't know what it is or why it is, but these are unique and genuine things. And this is footage like this and other UFOs, like the guy UFO, I believe it's UFO Lou. He's in Australia. I have to look it up to make sure. And he built a camera that points at the night sky and just films bizarre things. Yeah, some of them are satellites, some of them are comets. You can absolutely tell what they are. Then you have things that move and stop, change direction, do circles, and dart off. None of that makes sense. And people are like, "Well, I need more proof. What the fuck do you want? Do you want it to land and probe you in the ass on CNN?" And even then, people say Photoshop. You know, there's never enough. There's never enough. So I don't worry about. People.
Do you think what it really is there's people out there that they don't necessarily want more proof. They just want the people that they deem to be intelligent to take it seriously.
I think, and this is something I've mentioned before, but I think I can articulate it a little bit better this way. I think while you have so many ardent skeptics and you have people that tear down, and then there's always room for a skeptic. Don't get me wrong. Everyone should be skeptical to a certain extent. But the reason it is so vicious in this area, especially in the UFO, not so much paranormal, but definitely the UFO. Most people, to stay away from the paranormal because there's shit like this that exists. And people are like, it's all BS. And you show them, all right, here's hours of footage, explain it. and they just camera anomaly, lens flare. It's in the middle, dead of night. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Swamp gas. Like, we're in a building, you know. So they've a lot of them have kind of shifted over to the UFO field. I think what it is things like this, things like the paranormal, and a wide scope here. Things like the paranormal only happen to certain people, and that's what they say. It only ever happens to certain people. I agree. I think they're only interested in certain people, and the biggest skeptics are pissed that nothing ever happens to them.
We might be getting, if you don't mind, Lee, we might get Jeff on.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
He's the shadow guy.
Yeah,
I just said we're talking
great
about him.
Yeah, did you text him?
I just messaged him. Yeah.
See, look at that. He texted. Does he ever text you?
He's coming on in 2 minutes. There you go.
No, he doesn't text me. He never sends me shit, man.
How many times have you been doing like a random show? He's, oh, Lee might know something about this. Do you want to come on?
He's never sent me anything like that.
This podcast's new name is called Friend Dave and Ollie.
Well, there you go.
I like it.
I've just got Jeff to come on.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It should be Lee and Dave and fuck that other guy.
He's coming on in 2 minutes. He'll talk about shadow figures with you guys.
No, I think that's great. Genuinely, I'm a fan, man. His stuff is just some of the best I've seen collected out there, and I've seen all of his stuff. I've watched every episode, and I don't do that with much stuff because you guys know me well enough. I don't even really watch TV, but I don't like everything that he does, but he puts out good stuff, and I think he does his best to prove it through.
I don't think he likes everything he does. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I do. But I think he's on point with some stuff, and his collection, and just that upfrontness to kind of throw it out there for what it is. He should be so much bigger than he is, man. He 100%. Should be so much. He should have 20 million people following him. Like, no shit. I mean, just look at the stuff we're watching now. It's incredible. It's incredible. Not just we'll skip ahead a little bit. Boop. I don't need all that background. I need the actual shit. But, yeah, watching his made me think of some very specific stuff. By the way, this is the only time I've ever seen a laser grid actually kind of be worthwhile. You see it? That was good.
Mental.
This is not the video. I've seen other videos that are similar to this, but that appearance and disappearance like that, this is what led me to back up the other part of my new theory that I formed. Yeah, there's some nuttiness out there, man. There's some nuttiness out there. Oh, shit. That's my buddy from NASA calling me right now.
Look, get him on as well. He might be a friend.
He is a friend, dude.
Ghost guy.
He's awesome.
A NASA guy.
That first video that you showed, obviously, I apologize profusely to the to audio listeners of the podcast, but that first one is pretty fucking stunning.
I completely forgot that most Musty Audio is mainly a.
I have to mute myself for a second. If you guys want to talk, I have to call him right now. Is that all right? While we wait on Jeff?
Yeah,
cool. All right, I'll see if I can get him on.
So, what do you think, Ollie? Like the.
Well, you see, I've there we go. Here's the man himself, Lee. Right. Jeff? It's just a shadow.
Hello, Wally. You all right, mate?
You're all right, Jeff. How you doing, mate?
Hi, Jeff. It's good to meet you.
Jeff, you're on Must See Audio. My good friend Lee, and we've got another paranormal channel on with us, and the other paranormal channel has just brought up your channel without even me saying anything as some of the best stuff he's ever seen. So I said no, Jeff.
Okay, I'm not looking too good. That's why I haven't brought up my webcam. So
don't worry about it, mate.
No worries, mate.
Right.
It's mostly audio podcasting anyway.
There he is.
I'm sorry about the T-shirt. You know.
Our friend Dave down the bottom there, he's just had to take a phone call at the moment. He's just been bringing some of your stuff up from your YouTube channel, and the first one in particular was the one with is in like an office room where something walks across the screen.
He'll probably bring it up again, Jeff.
Yeah.
I've got lots of different voices coming in from different things, so I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
Is it our voices or is it?
I can hear you talking, but you're not talking.
Oh.
Did you follow the email link that I sent you, Jeff?
What I'll do, I'll log back out and I'll come back in. Just give me a second.
Mate. No worries.
No worries, mate. What's that? That's at the hour mark.
Dave's covering his face to kind of say what I don't know. He's covering his mouth while he's speaking to the NASA guy, so we don't lip read what he's saying.
Yeah, I clocked that.
What do you say about the hour mark, Lee? Sorry,
I'm going to pop a marker in for the hour mark, so split
the shows.
Sorry,
just
I don't know who watches these or not. He's willing to come on, by the way. Not tonight, but the next time we do it, he's like, yeah, definitely, man. Just let me know when it's happening and send me a link and I'll come. He's fucking brilliant, by the way. Brilliant.
Oh, I look forward to that, mate.
He's one of the top 3 smartest dudes I've ever met in my life. Ever.
Is that got you fixed, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Can you hear us now, Jeff?
I can, all perfectly, yeah.
Jeff, Dave, and
I can see
Lee.
Dave and Lee.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good,
it
mate.
was
Thanks for coming on.
Dave that brought up your show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. I discovered you from Ollie's, and you have some of the best straight up evidence I've ever seen, ever. Hands down. Like the fact, my mind is like after you first time you appeared on Ollie's, I watched all the episodes you had to that point.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I mean, after, the lockdown and stuff, we've been out there and started up our investigations again.
Awesome.
Something absolutely amazing only happened about a month ago. And we went to a place called Abbey Mills. And there's this little mill that sits there. It's known as the Wheelhouse. And a little old couple run it, Steve and Claire, lovely people. And it's the only working mill still in London. And they was telling us that things happen there. And this place was built in the 1800s. It goes back to Arthur Liberty, who was one of the great Victorian designers. He used the place to do all his fabrics and everything like that. Now, Steve and Claire, they use it now to sell their pottery, basically. And they were having some paranormal experiences. Now, this place isn't a big place. It's like the downstairs of a small house, and you've got the big wheel there. They fired it up for us. Let's see this wheel turning. It was absolutely brilliant. And what happened there, we were hearing this woman talking, and she was mentioning the war. She said, "Do you know anything about the war?" And we were hearing this voice, this woman's voice. But you've got to remember that this mill sits there on the river, so you have this river running. We went there twice within the last few months. And what actually happened was we were hearing footsteps. This woman kept talking to us, and we've never experienced this before. What happened then was I know a person that's worked in the BBC, ITV, on TV, on films, on James Bond films. I asked him just for a favour. I said, look, here is the audio. Can you take away all these frequencies? I want to hear this voice of this lady talking. Is it a voice? Is it matrixing? Is it something that's going on? Because sometimes water can sound like voices.
Mm-hmm.
3 days later, he sent the audio back to me with all the frequencies taken away. And there is an old lady talking, asking us about the war. Do you know anything about the war? She said she worked in a factory just outside, and it's clearer than what I'm talking to you with no noise. And we're blown away. We don't know what to do with it. We've sent it into the Travel Channel, and we've sent it into a few of the channels over in New York to view it, and we're waiting to hear back. But I don't know what else to say about it, because when you get perfectly clear audio like that, to have someone do that for you to confirm that there is an old lady talking to you, we just sort of sat back the last few weeks and said, what's the point carrying on? What are we going to do next? We've got definitive proof that this is a lady talking to us with no noise. It's just the lady's voice. She's speaking to us crystal clear. I don't know what to say about it.
Don't worry, someone will debunk it or throw out accusations. It's what they do. We were just talking about that.
You know, the trouble is you get these EVPs that are crackly and they can be quite crappy, and you try and bring them forward like what I do on my software. And then when you send it off to a guy that's got £10,000 worth of audio that can take out any frequency, and he enhances it, and then you're just sitting there listening to an old lady talking to you, what do you do? You know, I mean, how can you? I mean, there will be a lot of people that will say, "Nah, no, that's." I mean, even when we were listening to it, we were just like, "No, it can't be. It must be someone outside. How can someone outside at 3 o'clock in the morning, a little old lady answering your questions that can't hear you?" And we've tried to debunk it. We've tried to do everything with it, and we just don't know what to do with it. And I guess that the TV channels haven't come back to us because they don't know what to do with it, because it's 100% real, and it just blows the paranormal out of the water, really.
You know, I recently had a shared paranormal experience with a group of men. Well, and there was one woman there, group of individuals. And almost all of them, their takeaway was, I just don't want to talk about it. If I don't talk about it, it wasn't real. So yeah, man, I get it. I get it that it's, like I said, you have great stuff, man. Yeah, I'm a fan. You have great stuff.
If it's too perfect, then people aren't going to believe it. And if it's too, you know, if it's all crackly and there's a lot of hiss, then people believe it. You know, well, what do you do with that? You know,
if it's anything less than perfect, they don't believe it. And if it is perfect, then they definitely don't believe it. I put it to my team and I said, what do we do? Do we stop now? Do we just give up because we've got the perfect EVPs? It doesn't matter who believes it or not. And Phil, my team member, turned around to me. He said, "Hey," he said, "we've always got that poltergeist stuff. We've never caught poltergeist stuff on camera. We've heard it, we've seen glasses moving, but we've never got it on camera. Perhaps we should just focus on that." I don't know what else to do with this stuff. It's getting a little bit. Jeff, I've never. Sorry, Ollie. Go on.
When was the last time we spoke before your mum passed away? Like, when we had a chat.
It was probably about 2.5 years ago, because we was trying to arrange to get back into Pontefract, wasn't we? That most haunted house there. And then my mum passed away, and there was all this upheaval, and then lockdown. So, you know, it all sort of stopped a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What I was going to ask is how long has the channel Ghost Tech been going now?
Well, just Ghost Tech, I would probably between 15, 20 years.
Okay.
And
did you take my advice? Have you monetized it yet?
I still can't because the fact of the guy that does our music, Rico, who has his own record label and everything. YouTube is still saying that we can't monetize because of him, and the music we use has been recorded by him just for us. You can't buy it. So Sony it's just a big con. But at the end of the day, I'm not worried. I don't need to make money out of YouTube. We've made our money. We don't make any money whatsoever unless the TV companies buy it, like the Really Channel or the Travel Channel. I mean, we wasn't that long ago on with the Osbournes, I want to believe. They paid us $3,000 to show like 10 seconds of a couple of clips, with Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne there, which was quite funny. So, them sort of things, that's the only sort of time we get any money, and that money goes back into our little kitty, and it pays for hotels, petrol, food for us to go off and do our investigations. Yeah.
Have you got any plans to go back to the place you got the EVP from?
We're very good friends with the people there. We've been there twice now, and we can go back any time that we want to go back into the wheelhouse, this mill. The people that run it, as I say, Steve and Claire, they've heard it, they've seen our shows, they've seen the production that we've done so far. They're very happy with it. I mean, this stuff isn't going to be broadcast for quite some time. But we can go back anytime we want to.
Nice. You've got great stuff, man. You have great stuff.
I mean, people keep saying to us, "Why haven't you got more followers?" And I have no idea why. I mean, the last time I looked, it must have been 20-something thousand. I mean, I don't know why. We're just down to earth guys. We're not going to jump around and start screaming around like Ghost Adventures. It's not our sort of thing. A lot of people say the episodes are very long. Not a lot happens. It's the way that we do. We tell the history, but at the same time, if you look at all the other paranormal shows that are on the TV, they show the history, but you don't get them asking questions about the history and trying to speak about the history. When we do ours, we sit down for weeks and we take it all in, all the history, the names, and we ask questions. We ask for the people that are involved in that place, but you don't ever get that on TV. And some people say it can be a bit long-winded, but we're trying to show people, hey, we've done our knowledge, we've done the history, and we're showing you the sort of questions that we're asking, But
by saying, Jeff, your mum did a lot of the research for that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she used to be our researcher and stuff like that. She used to sit down all day on ancestry and birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates. I mean, there is one thing that might be happening, and which is when my brother, who's slightly disabled, moves out the house. He's under a lot of pressure at the moment. The council are trying to find him somewhere. Once he gets out of that house, if we get a chance, we will go in. And I want to speak to my mum because she was part of the team. She believed in it. And she's probably screaming out saying, why don't you come in here and speak to us? I've got something to say. And hopefully we can do that, before it gets sort of taken over, and handed back to the landlords.
That would be just the human interest story. That would be an incredible thing to watch.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't know how I would react to it. Obviously it's my mum, she believed in it. She was a researcher, but I mean, hey, she had a good life. She was 84 when she died last year, just before Christmas. So yeah. Just give me a moment, guys. I just got to check on something. One moment, please.
No worries.
No problem. Dave, if you can queue up that what you just showed us before, I wouldn't mind bringing that up with him before we start wrapping up.
The shadows?
Yeah. But the first one, because I thought that was fucking wild.
Which first one?
The first one you showed us with the guy walking across the office room.
Copy that. See if I can pull it up. No, I really like I like the stuff he puts forward.
I wonder if maybe they haven't got so many followers just because like ghosts aren't cool at the minute.
I think it's a marketing. If I had to guess.
I did say to Jeff, because he uses the same thumbnail for every single video.
Yes, he does.
And but he said, I don't give a shit. You know, I just do because I love it. We do it. Him and his guys actually do it just because they like doing it. And they get a buzz out of going to these different places because it's so if
who wouldn't want to hang out with your buddies and go hunt ghosts?
Exactly, you know. Dave heard something.
Dave's getting the call of the wild. Oh,
something going on there.
There's always something going on here. Oh.
So when are you going to start the paranormal podcast, Dave? When's that going to be going live?
When I get back from a thing I got to go do at a place I got to do for a couple weeks.
How long is that going to be about?
A couple weeks. And then we're going to test out some theories this Friday night when we go investigate the hospital. Mm-hmm. And we've secured 5 or 6 houses, a couple old churches. We have access to some unique graveyards. Just a neighborhood in specific neighborhood that has crazy reports. Like it's a known thing in the neighborhood. Like people just don't walk around at dark. Things happen. People see things. The town was hit by a flood, major flood. It killed a bunch of people. And now there's just kind of wandering things at night. You go through the playgrounds at the old park, and swings just start, even on a breezeless day.
Where do you think your home? What's your home going to be in terms of the platform you use? What is the main platform you're aiming for?
YouTube. We'll put it on everything. We're going to go on YouTube.
Are you going to put an audio version out as well?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah,
I prefer audio. I get to do that at work.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll do them all. I think we're still going to do Rumble and YouTube. We'll do because with this topic and this subject matter, iTunes won't give us any trouble. Spotify shouldn't give us any trouble. We can use different people to make our merch, to produce that, drop shipping and all that jazz. Last time we were really, really hamstrung. That took a month all by itself just to secure enough places globally that would handle that for us, because they're like, well, we'll do it here. And then we had one place, I think it was in like somewhere in Europe. And they're like, no, we're not going to make any of your stuff. Okay, then. There's nothing you can do about that. Australia refused to, like, we couldn't find anything there.
They refuse anything right now, don't they?
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to have probably a different look, just because of some different things we're going to do and add. Yeah.
Are you going to hunt then? Actually, like go out?
Yeah, I'm going to put a holy water on my bullets. Take my rifle. Ghost is never going to see this shit coming. Thermal, baby, thermal.
I am here for the podcast where Dave goes hunting fucking werewolves.
I have silver bullets.
But you are going to go out and with all the equipment, like, are you going to actively go into houses and?
Yeah. If, we already have a house lined up that I've had an encounter at. My friend's wife's had an encounter at. My friend who owns the house has had multiple encounters in. The movers who moved him in have had encounters, and I can see his 3rd floor from my house, and the lights just constantly flicker on and off. And I don't mean like there's a short. I mean the switch goes up and down.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you actually see the switch move.
They have. I haven't. I just see the lights going on and off. The movers actually like almost quit moving him into the house over it because they went up and it just started flicking. And the guy's like, "Oh, it's a short." And one of the guys like, "No, man, I saw the switch flip. I'm out of here." And they moved like stuff that had to go to the third floor. They took to the second floor, and they said, "That's it. Like, we don't care. You can break our contract, call our boss. We don't give a shit. We're not doing this."
Dave, would you pull that video up? Because I'd like Jeff to give us some context of it, because I found that really interesting before.
It is up. It just needs to be approved.
Oh.
Not this one. And I don't think it's this one either. Oh, this one's really good.
I don't know what I would do. That I think's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, so that's the highlights. Let's see if I can find where that was in the.
Is this off Nuke's Top 5 or something?
No, it's on yours, episode 93, The Shadow People.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. It's one of the best collections I've seen.
It took some months getting all that together. I mean, one of the best shadow figures that I managed to find was actually in my mum's house, peering out of a door. And obviously the one I think at the beginning was us at Englefield Hall, where a shadow person walks past the door, and they showed that on the Osbournes, We Want to Believe.
Yeah, that was really good. I mean, you have really, really good footage. What do you think shadow people are?
Honestly, after everything that I've done, I don't believe they're not ghosts or anything like that. I believe it's a little bit hard to explain. I think I did try and explain it on that episode on the shadow people that, when we're born, we're developed in a way that our eyes see in certain frequencies, certain spectrums. And I actually believe that they are another humanoid race like us, but we can't see them perfectly clearly because of the way our eyes are developed, if that makes sense, because our eyes develop in a certain spectrum. We can't really see in the dark properly, and the spectrum is so big that we're only seeing in a small part. And I think they're actually another race that's been here for probably the same time as us, or maybe longer. I don't think they're actually ghosts. I think they're just living among us, but we can't see them properly because of the way of our eyes. Our eyes are developed in the certain spectrum.
We can observe a very narrow bandwidth of spectrum. It's funny you say that because, believe it or not, watching some of your episodes, and there's two key ones here that have actually spurred a theory that I have, me and another friend of mine that have. Okay. And it's actually going to kind of dictate the course in which we do investigation. So we're starting a paranormal YouTube. My background is not officially in the paranormal, but not that anyone's is officially in the paranormal, I don't think. But
I hate it when they say
I'm an expert. How?
He's an expert. How can you be an expert? How? We're all using stuff that we think
works,
detects the paranormal, but you don't know if it is or not.
Yeah, but so we have able to secure several known haunted locations for our exclusive use, places that have never been searched before. This Friday night, we're doing a hospital that is in my hometown in Appalachia. So it's, in a mountainous small town area. It's been shut down for several years, and it is incredibly active. So active, the firefighters and police of the town don't go in there. Like, people will report, hey, the lights are on, the power's not on to the damn building. There's no way there's lights on in the building. And they're like, well, it's homeless people that broke in. Good for them. they can have it. It's that type of situation. But the neighborhood itself is an old Victorian neighborhood. It's an old town. It's suffered a major flood in the past. Crazy amounts of activity just on the streets, and it's honestly in the neighborhood in which I live. So that's how I was able to secure so much of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to start going with that, and I can't talk about it on the air, but I have a tie-in, and I'm hoping that tie-in leads me to access a few other facilities. And if I wanted to pay, which we absolutely will, there's a old prison. It's one of the oldest prisons in my state, in Tennessee. It's shut down, Brushy Mountain. It's where they held all the lifers and murderers and stuff like that, and they shut it down. And for, I think it's like $500, you and your team can go investigate all night by yourselves. No problem. They don't care.
Okay. Whose channel is this that we're on at the moment?
Yours.
Because, sorry?
Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations, episode 93, The Shadow People.
No, I think he means show. It's my podcast. I put it up as a video after the fact, but it's mainly an audio show. Yeah.
Okay, so we're live now at the moment, are we?
No, we're not live. It's just pre-recorded. It's going to be.
Okay. I was going to just ask Ollie. Now, Ollie, I've got your. Where is it here? Can you tell me your email address, Ollie?
Yeah, mate, it is. I'll bring it up on screen for you so you can see it. There you go.
I can't see it because I've got another screen here.
All right, it's Alien Addict.
Right, Alien Addict. Yeah.
UK at gmail.com.
Anyone listening to this podcast, please send Ollie dick pics.
Oh, big ones. Big ones and lots of them. Lots of them. Animal dick pics. Doesn't matter.
Any of the dick pics.
Okay. No, I get loads of koala dick pics.
I tell you what I'm going to do, Ollie. I'm going to send you an EVP of that woman. Hopefully, it's going to go to you. Hopefully, it's not too big. So I'm going to send that to you now.
You are probably better off sending that to Lee, because he could probably decipher that very quickly into the software. He's an audio guy.
If I stop sharing, he could just play it, right?
It's already been done.
Jeff, hit share screen. Yeah. If
get out of this,
that would be the easiest way of doing it.
Share screen.
Yeah. So if you're in the software right now and you look at the bottom.
Okay.
Can you see where at the bottom where it says settings, stop cam settings, and it says share?
Yeah, I've brought that up. Yeah. Okay.
You need to tick the audio as well. So if you're sharing screen, you need to tick the audio.
It's not giving me anything to tick. Hold on. Don't show these tips again. It says, I don't know what that means, but what does that mean?
I don't know, Jeff. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, mate. We might, that if we can, I don't know how to share audio on this software, so we might have to do that on another show.
I've just sent you an EVP.
Right, I will try and, while you guys are chatting, I'll try and see if I can get it to save into some sort of format.
So when you said you think that the shadow people or something that exist next to us, do you think they live on the same plane of existence as us?
I think they're actually here. There could be one standing right next to you there, but we just can't see them because of our eyes, because we can't, we can see each other because of the way our eyes are developed. But whatever these things are, I don't think that they're not demons, they're not ghosts. I just think it's another type of humanoid that's always been here. And sometimes we catch them as sort of misty. Sometimes we catch them as solid black figures. Mm-hmm. But I don't think they're anything to do with ghosts whatsoever.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I agree that they're not ghosts.
Yeah. There's just too much evidence there. I mean, when I done that episode on the shadow people, you saw one of them, which was on an aeroplane with a security guard. And what would a ghost be, doing on an aeroplane,
I noticed one thing from watching all those shadow people clips. I've watched a lot of them. And I think if you watch them with a detailed eye, you will see something consistent. and I have often wondered about it. And it's watching other things you've put out have, like I said, generated a unique theory.
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff as well, but specifically your stuff. You have great stuff. You have great catches.
I actually think because Ghost Tech Paranormal are not all jumping up and down and being all nuts all over the place. I think if we was, we'd probably be on a TV show by now. But because we're so calm and we just do things the way they should be done, I just keep getting all these messages saying, on YouTube and stuff, why aren't you number one? Why aren't you're the best people out there? Why isn't that? And I think it's just because we're so calm and we're not entertaining for the TV industry.
I'm just talking YouTube. Forget the TV. Once TV gets a hold of it, who knows what happens?
I think it's the same thing, though, isn't it? People are looking for that.
Wow.
Yeah, I think there's a certain amount of people wanting to be told what they want to hear as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got old Zach bragging there, giving it everything that whatever TV channel his thing's on now.
Him and his super tight black t-shirt.
Super tight black t-shirt, super black hair.
Hey, Lee, what's your email address where you are?
It's must see audio.
I beg your pardon.
Gmail. Must see audio.
Must see
audio.
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
I'm going to send you one of these EVPs and hopefully you'll be able to play it.
Yeah, I've just looked at it, Jeff, and it's interesting to listen to. I don't know how I can pull it into streaming.
Okay, I've just sent that off to Lee. Hopefully, he will be able to play that because that, as I say, I've got 4 of them. I've got 4 of these EVPs of the same old woman answering specifically questions. It's not just random and she's just saying things. She's speaking to us. She was responding to my team member Phil when he was talking about what went on here. What did you do? So I'm hoping that Lee can actually play that so we can all hear it because it's mind-blowing. You won't hear a better EVP of a spirit.
I heard it's very clear that.
It is, isn't it? Unfortunately, we can't get this guy on our team to do it for us all the time. Otherwise, it'd be amazing. This was a one-off as a favor. And as I say, the guy he's got like 10 grand's worth of audio equipment that he can do all sorts of stuff with.
That helps.
Well, yeah, it does really. But anyway, he's a great friend. I speak to him when I see him at work, and he'd done us a big favor. He shouldn't have done it in work time, but he said, I'll do this for you. He'd done it probably about 10 years ago, but for us once before. But
yeah.
Here we go, guys.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it is crazy. I just listened to it.
Yeah.
I think you didn't click the audio button, Lee.
Should have done. We'll try it again.
This is the only bad thing about StreamYard. It's really bad to pull anything in.
I put share. Oh yeah, it will be awkward because I don't know how you do it. Because I
always struggle on my show. Always.
As far as the software is concerned, the interface is where my audio is coming from, not my laptop. Yeah.
Well, damn it, man! Forward it to me.
Shit. The best EVP ever captured of a spirit, and we can't play it.
I'll figure it out. I'm just kidding. I don't want to set anything up. I have a producer. I don't do this shit.
You could probably edit it in, Lee. There you go. Listen right now. There you go, guys.
Yeah, I can stick it on the in the audio or video. Yeah.
So there's no other way we can play this now live then?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
it's not a live show anyway.
My setup is directly into my PC.
Do you want me to send it to you, Dave?
I think Lee can forward it to me because I'm definitely not giving out my email on here.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just one of the. I mean, there's a better one that's even longer.
So she said
of the woman talking. So,
well, I'm excited. All this buildup, I'm excited. I'm teased. I'm properly teased. Checking my emails right now. How the hell do these people get my email address? Ooh, my order shipped. Yeah. That's good news. No, yeah, so we're going to start a paranormal one, and that's kind of the nature of this. We had more of a political commentary one that nobody in the world, and when I mean nobody, I mean big tech, was a fan of. In fact, in one day, they basically just shut us down on all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. But we already bought all the kit, so, you know.
It's not a paranormal channel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we're doing next. We just put out part 1 and part 2 of St. Breville's Castle, the most haunted castle in England, on the YouTube channel. That was great.
Did you guys hear it? Oh, no.
No.
You didn't share that, did you? Ooh, that was my name and address and email. I thought I'd stop sharing. That was bad. We're going to have to edit that, man. Seriously.
Lee'll edit. Lee's not live, so.
Yeah. That's bad.
I can't believe we can't play an EVP over this.
I think I can.
You heard what she said, though, Lee, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, that's so clear. It's just a little old lady. It's like there is, I've heard quite a lot of EVPs over the years, and it tends to be something that you listen to. You know, like when you hear sort of backmasking on like Led Zeppelin records and stuff like that, and you go, "Was that something? That one word sounded like it could possibly be the devil." But I mean, that's just a little old lady asking if anyone's heard about the war.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is it.
Did she say, "Do you remember the war?" Have you heard about the war? She said, "Have you heard about the war?" She
first of all said the first EVP was the war.
Let's try this one.
Do you want to bring up, Dave?
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
nothing?
No, nothing. I think you got to. Did you click the share audio button?
I definitely clicked the share audio button.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lee will edit it in. We've all heard it, so Lee will edit it. So we've heard it, so.
Son of a bitch! How is this not? I can see it.
Why is it not playing? I mean,
it's all right, Jeff, because we've all heard it now. So all three of us have heard it.
Yeah, Jeff, that's incredible stuff, man.
I mean, Boris, right, has to speak to Putin about the war, and I'm sure they don't have this shit. Come on. I mean, come on. It's only an audio file. What makes it things? It's. But anyway, yeah, I mean, she does mention the war. She says, "Do you know anything about the war?" And then there's another EVP where Phil says, "Did you work near here?" And she says, "A factory just outside." And it's as perfectly clear as what you've just heard there. There's no, I mean, I played it to the guys and they just went, "What the fuck we're going to do with this?" No one's going to believe it. And that's a problem because it's so crystal clear.
It is. It's incredibly clear.
But In fact, I'll.
Does she say? Am I right by saying? Let me listen to that again, Jeff. You don't need to worry about it. It will have been played by now because Lee will have edited it because it's not a live show. So the audience have already heard it. She said,
"Yeah,
that's unbelievable."
Have you heard? Is she say? Have you heard about the war?
Yeah. So wait.
I think she says, "Do you know anything about the war?"
Do you know about the war?
Isn't that weird? That's like time.
It's like she might be asking somebody else.
That's like
and that emotion just got caught there.
That's like she thinks it's present day to her. Whatever that is at that time, she's not saying, "Do you remember the war?" She's saying, "Have you heard about the war?"
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
That's wild, man. Yeah, I'm sure Lee will dub that in. And Lee, please remove my actual email address.
I will do. We can, mate.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, it's that's really good. That's a really good one.
I'm trying to show the best one that I've got. And
what did you record that with?
This is going well.
Or not? Boy, it's turned into a shit show fast.
It turns out this is why people plan guests.
Well, this is the other thing. When you start playing with the paranormal, everything starts going wrong.
Yeah.
I recorded it on it's a Sony digital recorder. We use these Sony digital recorders that that they don't make anymore, and they're very hard to find. So I'll go on eBay and try and find the new ones that's still in the packet. So I've bought another 5 over the last couple of years that we still haven't used, and they seem to be the best ones to use because when I sent those EVPs of that woman off to this guy, most digital recorders, they have a sort of big frequency range, but these ones are 44.1 to 48, and the frequency of the woman's voice was 45. So that's how it was caught. I mean, at the same time, there was a river running, there was noise in the background, sort of slight noise in the background. It could have been me, could have been Phil, and he had to take out all them frequencies until it leaves just that voice. What he did say, if you turn up your headphones in the background, it sounds like there's like a piece of machinery running. What was interesting was he said he couldn't find the frequency of that machine or something running that's making some sort of hum or noise. He couldn't remove that because he didn't know what frequency it was on. So he presumed that was on the same frequency as the voice. And because we was in a mill, was it the mill as it was back in them days? So yeah, it's really interesting. Really is interesting.
That would point then more to it being like an audio snapshot in time.
It could be.
Yeah, rather than something that's still there.
Now that I've heard it, and you said all that running water, that's a lot of energy. Running water under basis when you're doing like sensitive electronic work with like geopositioning and tagging and things like that for construction or elevation heights, when it could real specific stuff.
And also the one thing that we couldn't use there was any EMF detectors, no K2 meters, no nothing, because next to it was 2 big pylons running electricity right across it. So you've got electric, you've got water, you've got everything that fuels the paranormal.
Yeah. Water just by itself, if you're doing sensitive stuff with like, again, GPS or whatever, it will, especially if you have like underground caverns or running water moving underneath your ground, you'll get crazy settings and signals, and it's bizarre. There's a lot of energy there.
But what I'm going to do just now, I'm not going to cut you off, hopefully this time. I'm going to send you another EVP from this woman. And if I go into sent, I should see Lee there. And
I'm going to say probably best off Lee just listen to it and then we talk about it and then he can drop it in because there's no point.
So this is probably. So I sent you. Do you know anything about the war? I believe, and I'm going to send you this one. And this is the one where Phil asked. He asked, "Did you work nearby here?" Because about 20 yards away was a big factory where all these people built cockpits and repairing for the Blenheim bombers during the war. And he asked her, where did she work? And this was the reply that I've sent to Lee.
Jeff, while Lee's bringing that up, so
that's incredible.
Wait.
Oh, have you just heard it?
Yeah, I'll send it to.
Where was that?
Do you know anything about the war?
Oh, there we go. Well done.
Go. Well done, Dave. That's what you did there. Is you've used technology to eliminate technology. I like that.
Yes.
Lee, send that other one to Dave.
Yeah. Dave is an intelligent man.
Dave Allaray.
I'm genuinely not.
And it's just proven that if anybody says there's no reason to have him around, they're wrong.
I think the EVP that I just sent you to do with the factory is probably the best one.
That's ridiculously clear. Like ridiculously clear.
Did you get the one about the factory?
Yeah, I've just sent it to him.
Okay.
Hit refresh, Dave.
I am. I'm working on it.
A factory somewhere just outside.
How clear do you want to hear anything? How clear do you want to hear a dead lady?
That's the problem, isn't it? It's so perfect.
So now it's so perfect, and we've got a guy that's used £10,000 worth of audio equipment to actually say, this is what you got. This is a lady talking to you. You send that to a TV channel, and they say, go fuck yourself. You're taking the piss. You're taking the piss. You're cheating. You're lying. And I can tell you that we even searched the place.
Well, you have the raw file. You have the raw file and you have the clean file. You can show exactly what it is. All the fingerprints are there. Layers just removed.
We ripped that place apart. There's no way two little old Steve and Claire that are old, really, really old people. They don't even have CCTV there. Okay, they're not sitting there with a speaker with someone on the end with a microphone listening to what you're saying and then saying something back. It's impossible. But then, as I said to you, it's too good. What do you do with something that's too good? No TV channel is going to want to touch that because they will believe that you're a bloody liar. And that's the whole point now. That's what we come to. Now, we've sent this stuff off and they're probably going to say, they're fucking liars. They're taking the piss. Because we've got the perfect EVPs of a dead person's voice. There you go. And I can guarantee you right now, we're in the middle of nowhere. No one's around. Just me and Phil, two people locked inside a mill. And that's it. That's what we heard.
Meanwhile, the same channels will give hours to spirit boxes.
What can we do? So you're in this sort of now, I'm in this sort of rut where I say, do we say, well, fuck it, what's the point of doing it anymore? And capture some shitty EVPs where people, where the TV shows might say, yeah, let's throw it on there. I've sent them this. I sent them it a week ago. I'm still waiting to hear back from them. They probably don't know what the fuck to do with it because it might just ruin the whole industry of paranormal because they say, well, if we play these sort of EVPs, what else have we got to show from other ghost investigations?
Yeah.
So where do I go?
So you think, Jeff, if they show, they're thinking if they show that, they may think you're bullshitting them. But two, they may even have a trust for you, but think if we showed that, no one's going to believe it.
If they broadcast our EVPs, them that you've heard, what's the point of broadcasting any other shitty EVPs that you can sort of make out, or you can sort of hear with all the background noise? What the fuck's the point in it?
And it's clearly the same woman in both of those.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've got 4. It's all the same woman,
All the same lady.
all the same lady.
That's really good, man. Those are really, really good. Like I said, you have great stuff. Yeah, I don't. Again, it's TV shows and drama and all that. That's all fine, whatever. I can't help you with your existential crisis of whether you should or should not continue.
Well, no, I mean, if you was running a TV show and you're showing all this ghosty stuff and you're making millions of pounds out of it on Quest, Dave, Blaze, you name them all. We've got them all here. And then you play that. Well, people will want that all the time. They're not going to want to hear that. They're not going to broadcast it. I guarantee you they're not going to broadcast what we've done, even though I've sent it off to 5, 6, 7 producers across the networks. And they said they were thinking about it. That was a week ago. And that's going to destroy it all for them, as in paranormal EVPs. They're not going to want to play that because they want that every single time. And we can't give it to them every single time. And neither can all the normal people out there that are wandering around doing their films, using their digital recorders, because the quality is not going to be anything like that. And I'm not going to have that quality ever again. It will destroy everything. They're not going to pay me.
Why would you not have that quality ever again?
Because the guy that I sent it to.
What was different about that? What was different about that?
The guy that I sent it to, because I knew what I was hearing, a disembodied voice on them 2 investigations. I sent it to this guy that I know, who is worked in the movie industry and the TV industry for some time. And I sent it to him and said, "Can you do me a favor? Can you just clean these up a little bit? I want to know what, I know what I'm hearing, but can you do me a favor and just clean it all up? So tell me it is a woman talking." And he said, "Okay, then, well, it's, I'm working. It's got to be done at work because that's where all my equipment is. I shouldn't really do it, but I'll do it on the quiet." And that's what he done. He fed it all through whatever he's got to do, the processors, and took out frequencies and whatever, sent it back to me. He said, it's a one-time sort of favor. He did do it for us about 10 years ago, where I caught a child's voice and he enhanced it for us all that time ago. And it was just one-off. And he said, "Jeff, if this is a spirit voice, then I don't know what to say." And he sent it back and said, "That's what's on there, and that's what you're hearing." Simple as that. But as in broadcast and as in TV companies, they won't touch it.
That must be horrendously frustrating. If you've been researching for so long to find a smoking bullet and to get one, and then you can't do anything about it, must be horrendously frustrating.
They're out to make money.
You can immediately upload it. Yeah, you can immediately upload it to YouTube. Do it without your music and other production. That way you can monetize it.
I can't monetize it because of the music that we use.
No, that's what I'm saying. Don't use the music on that episode. Just say, "Listen, we caught something phenomenal. It's unbelievable. This isn't a normal episode. Listen to this. Yeah. Here's the unclean. Here's the clean. This is where we were." It'll make the rounds, man.
Can be easily done, but as I say, the TV channels and all that won't touch it because it will grind them to a halt. Because it means if they played our EVPs and you play, say, another clip of a guy capturing a voice which is all hissy and whatever, they'll be saying, "Well, we can't do that." So they're out there to make money. Most of the channels are not there because they really are excited to see the paranormal. I mean, I do interviews from here to New York, to the Travel Channel, to all these places. they're there to make money and to do a program, and they make absolutely millions and millions of pounds on adverts and all the rest of it. I mean, they pay me £100 for 15 minutes of an interview, and then £800 to use a clip from an episode. If they were really interested in that, it would be bloody news straight away. They'd be saying, "We want that stuff. We need it now. It's going to end all paranormal shows because you got the best EVPs that have ever been called by someone that's dead."
Surely the idea, the best idea of a way to put it out there then is instead of just showing the ultra clear version we've just heard there, is to play the version before it was cleaned up.
No,
and then
I've done that. I've sent both episodes, the first investigation and the second investigation, with how it all transpired, just like watching one of our episodes. I mean, I heard the lady talking right fucking behind me. I turned to the camera, made me jump. We're talking disembodied voice. We're not talking just an EVP on a digital recorder. I could hear it at the same time. Yeah. They've got both episodes. They've got all the time codes when it happens, and they've also got the cleaned up EVPs that I've sent you as well with the time code where it fits. I don't know if they're all sitting in a room scratching their heads thinking, what the fucking hell did we do with this? What are we going to do? Do we leave it? Because otherwise that'll be the end of our shows. What's the point? Because at the end of the day, the idea of their shows is to keep you thinking, is there something? Isn't there something? Is it real? Is it not real? That's the problem. And I don't think these TV shows touch it because they'll be shitting themselves, because it will be the end of EVPs.
I think it would only spur them on. But, I mean, you're right about one thing is it's all about money. It's advertising and money. And that's my point is if you did it, don't do a normal episode. Just this is incredibly clear captured. If you had one just with all four of them back to back, the unedited, not the unedited, but the unclean and then the cleaned. And say, I think
it's really frustrating when you get people like, say, myself and my team. We travel around the UK. We pay for our own food, our own petrol, our own hotels. We don't make no money on YouTube. We don't charge people if they ask us in, because we just want to capture some good evidence. And then this is the way, when you get true, proper paranormal investigations going on here, and you just got people that's just out for money. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. But hey, that's what this world's like, isn't it? It's all to do with money. Unfortunately, we're nothing to do with money.
I suppose the next step with that sort of thing, if you go back there, is to try something with more contact involved. So there's more context to a conversation.
What did you do differently, Jeff? Was there anything different? Was anything different that you both did on that investigation? Anything at all that you can think of? I mean, there was two of you for one. He's normally three, or what's his name? I've forgotten his name.
Mark. On the first investigation, there was three of us, and that's when we got the words.
Is that when Matt were there?
Yeah, we got the words "the war," and do you know anything about the war? Once we found that out, when we was producing the episode, myself and Phil went back, and that's when we started getting even more of a conversation. I mean, the footsteps. I mean, as I say, the episodes are not out yet, but the footsteps were just ridiculous, and we were sort of looking, and you were hearing someone just walking right next to you. The pottery was moving and being hit, being flicked. It was crazy. It really was. I'm not going to say it's the scariest place I've been. It's the most haunted place I've been with evidence. I mean, the most scariest place I've been is Englefield Hall. But this place is probably the most haunted place I've been, but in a nice way.
Is this one Englefield?
No, that is Petworth Chapel, in Surrey.
Right. I remember the hall one. That's where you jump out your skin.
I saw a woman come out of a wall. There were footsteps running at me. We'd done a part 3 of it, which we've put out there, where I actually decided to sit in the middle all by myself, surrounded in equipment, and Phil was outside. He closed the door and just left me there, and you could hear the footsteps walking up and down. I was saying, come on then, approach me. What are you going to do? What you got to say? Whatever it was there wanted us out of the place. And I confronted what was there, and it backed off in the end. So, but Englefield Hall was on the Osbournes program, and for some reason, every paranormal channel like that on the TV, from Blaze and Quest and Really, and they put out this shadow figure walking past the door. So it was good. It was good stuff.
Have you ever felt in danger at all doing any of them?
Definitely at Englefield Hall, and definitely at a place that we investigated where a girl was using a Ouija board and brought through the Zozo demon. And you'd walk into the flat, and you could taste sulfur in your mouth. And it was there all the time. It's like you was chewing on metal, like putting a coin in your mouth. You get headaches, and things would fly around the place. And she'd use this Ouija board. And I remember sitting in this cupboard. There was this cupboard, and they said they heard scratching from inside. And I sat in this cupboard on the chair, and I had the camera in front of me. In fact, it is on our channel. And I said, what are you going to do? What do you want from the little girl? And this voice just said, fucking killer. It was really, that was quite scary, because I thought, this girl was only 14 years old. She hadn't slept in her room for like 6-7 months because she kept getting bruises and scratches. And I actually called in the PA to the Bishop of Churches. They sent in a reverend to bless the place. And after that, it sort of calmed down, and she did go back to her room. I mean, I haven't been contacted since then. But that was quite scary and it was like my first time I've seen like a priest blessing a house, and a lot of people don't get to see that. And it was quite moving, actually. I actually filmed it as well, and it is on the episode. But that was, and for some reason, when he finished, something completely changed. The sulfur went, the taste of metal, the headaches, strange place. You'd walk outside and the headache would just go, boom, it'd go, What was the demeanor of the priest when he was doing it? Because is it like is he super serious? Do you think he feels that he was like under threat? No, not at all. In fact, only not too long. In fact, after that, there was someone else that needed some help, and I contacted again the PA Bishop of Churches, and I didn't know until that point. But in London, there is a certain part of the clergy that are kept to one side, and they deal in the paranormal. I didn't know that. I thought, but because there's been an increase in what people are saying with possessions and things like that, paranormal, they have got a section put aside in London, Waterloo, that go out and deal with these sort of things. And as I say, I didn't know about it. I only found out. So I've still got the number to the PA of the Bishop of Churches. So if I need a reverend to help someone, I can give them a call, and they'll bring someone in.
How long's like this uptick been in sort of possessions and like demonic activity?
within the last 10 to 15 years, it's sort of gone up, and that's why it's really weird. Like, you have the police and you have the sort of special armed police, and that's what they sort of are. You got the normal sort of clergy, and then you got the super duper clergy that deal within this sort of stuff. I didn't know anything about it, until recently.
It sounds like the stuff of horror films. It doesn't. The idea that that's active and like running in the United Kingdom is fucking crazy.
So, do you know what turned on 14 years ago? Almost 15.
So,
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously they must be taking this seriously to do something like that. They don't just make up another department, just in case something is happening. And you've got to have proof that this stuff is going on before they come in. And which, with the girl with the Ouija board, I had to prove that this stuff was happening again. With another guy down in London
is that the guy that I was going to interview?
Yeah,
it was in a really bad way.
Yeah, he's still okay. The church can't even help him now. But again, this sort of stuff has been set aside for people like them. And this guy, he's been to the church. They can't do anything for him, nothing whatsoever.
He's still activity.
He's still being attacked.
Wow.
And the church have now backed off because they just say, what do you want us to do? We've tried everything. They've tried exorcism, blessings. They've tried everything they want. We've investigated there 3-4 times to try and get it to back off. I've threatened it. I've done everything that I can. I've put myself in its way and said, come on then, take me then. What are you going to do to me?
You spent 2 nights at this gentleman's house. Am I right by saying that, you and the team?
On the first investigation, we've done 4 there in total. Yeah.
Do you have? I don't know if I asked this on Alien Addict, but do you have a vet? You must have a vetting system to see if the guy's crazy, or if do you know what I mean, Jeff? If somebody's making something up, or if they're just doing it for attention.
When I first met him, I went into his flat. And the hairs went up all across my body. And I took out my static devices, EMF, turned them on. They went full. I couldn't even, it was like they just, in fact, one of my static devices blew and turned itself off. You could feel it on your head, down your back. And I said, where's these lights coming from? And he said, above my bed in the wall. I put my hand out and I got an electric shock from the wall. The guy was crying because he just lost his partner as well. And the ashes he had was in his bedroom on top of a cabinet. And we thought it was his partner, but it had nothing to do with that whatsoever in the end.
I remember the episode.
We've moved.
And there it is.
It's crazy in there. We've filmed on our SLS cams little figures walking like a child walking down the hallway and touching me. I didn't know it at the time, but Phil that was filming me saw it, and I was saying I've got tingling on my head, and it was like a little child. The guy is still going through the same torment.
Is that the one with the Kinect, the way you're filming the Kinect, and there's that thing and it's touching you?
Yeah, the SLS cam.
You can see 2 legs and two arms.
Yeah. And so now the poor guy, the church have abandoned him because they don't know what to do. We've done 3 investigations. I've threatened it and I don't know what to do. I'm still there supporting him the best that I can. And he says, Jeff, what else can you do for me? He's been to the top psychics. He's paid £10,000 to £20,000 for people to come in and say, get rid of this thing that's in here. Wherever he goes, it follows him. It's attached to him, and it won't let him be. He comes home from work. He has a shower, something to eat. He goes to bed. When he's in bed, it attacks him, drains him. When he gets up in the morning, he just don't want to go to work. He doesn't want to do anything. He's so tired. He can feel it on him. And no one, not even the top psychics, the top people that in paranormal, no one can do anything for him. The church can't do anything for him. I check on him every few days just to say, "Are you okay, mate? Are you still okay?" And you say, "Yeah, it's still here. It won't leave me alone." What the hell do you do? And
I take
really
it he's had like full medical checks and things like that.
Yeah. It's really weird being on my side where I'm a paranormal investigator and I go there and say, "Well, fucking do something to me then. Come on then, do something to me." And it won't. It just keeps doing it to him. I've felt it, I've seen it, but it won't.
It doesn't
do
want
anything
you.
to me. It wants him, and it will not leave him alone. And it got to a point where it's just like, "Do you know what? I might as well just kill myself. I can't sleep. I can't work. I can't earn any money. What the fuck am I going to do?" And it won't leave him alone. If he goes to someone else's house, it follows him there. It's just him all the time. It's just him. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. What do I do to help someone like that? Especially when you've got the church as well on your side that have tried everything and they can't do nothing. What do you do? And I don't know what the answer is. I really don't. If it follows him and it's there in his house, it drains him, it attacks him, and you can call it out and it just says, "Fuck you, I'm staying with him." Just don't know what to do about that case. That is one that does upset me because he's a good friend. We've become friends over the years, but there's nothing that I can do to help him. Just have to watch him.
Yeah, in what ways has it been attacking him? It's obviously like there's some sort of energy draining.
It drains him of his energy. It also switches off the TV, switches off the bathroom lights, switches off the complete stuff in the building. And we've been actually there when, like, the kitchen lights would just come on for no reason. And there are like these little black balls that float around and shoot around, and I've seen them. And there's balls that come out the wall, white balls that keep coming out the wall. If you touch it, you can feel it, and you get an electric shock from the wall as all these things are coming out. It's absolutely crazy. Really
did you get footage of the balls?
I didn't at the time because when I went round there, it was just like an interview, just to say, "How can we help you?"
Yeah.
But on our investigations there's 2 or 3 of them that's on YouTube. You will see stuff happen. He's been filming these balls of light for years and years coming out of his walls, and we've put that on our episodes so you can actually see it for yourself. A lot of people might say it's dust. If it's dust, it's a hell of a lot of dust for someone to be breathing in. I mean, we're talking big balls of light coming out of walls, just flying everywhere. And I remember on the first night where we finished the investigation, we packed up. Phil went downstairs to get the car, and there was a huge crash. And I walked back inside, and it was in the kitchen, and a clock had flown off the wall into the kitchen sink. And there was this deep man's voice, and I don't know what it said, but it was really deep. And I thought, no, I'm not staying in there. There was something else going on there. But to pin it down, I don't know. I really don't know. But everyone keeps saying, don't go back there. Something is going to really take off there. But I just feel sorry for this guy, and we've never left someone.
It's not about moving.
Won't do
it
anything.
follows him. It follows him. when he goes and looks after some other guy's house. He does pet sitting, and this guy goes away and it follows him there. Wherever he goes, it just follows him. No one can get this thing off him, wherever it is. And
don't take this the wrong way, Jeff. But when we're talking about like it torturing him, and when we're saying the draining bit, that's what I want to get to. But turning off the TV, turning off the light switch. You know, if I was watching a decent film, I'd be pissed off. But when you say draining, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? He's physically constantly feel lethargic and just like he can't get up. He's get up and goes, got up and gone. He can't do anything. Has he lost a job because of this?
Well, no, he runs his own business. Doing painting and decorating. But as far as I'm led to believe that when he goes to bed, he can feel something on him, like leaning on him. And by the time he wakes up in the morning, he's completely drained, just like you've already done a day's work. Now, I know that people can say, oh, okay, then, you know, so maybe it's something else. But when you're there and you've done your we've done our 2 or 3 investigations there, the stuff that we heard there, the voices of children, the walking around, his ex-partner's ashes are sitting there. And when we put the K2 on it, it just went nuts. Now, you know, sorry, but an urn of ashes don't give off loads of energy and stuff like that unless something's going on. We were hearing stuff in things moving, the kitchen light come on, the clock fell off the wall. You know, it was lots and lots of stuff. If nothing was happening, I'd be saying, listen, we're not getting anything. But the guy is so sincere, he's so honest. And as I say, you know, it's probably the only case that we've been to where we can't help anyone. We can't help him. We can't do anything for him, you know. And I think that's, for me, that's quite disappointing.
Jeff, are you familiar with the Bill Vail case?
No.
Bill Vail case is a man in the United States. He's a former nuclear Navy guy who went and worked in robotics for NASA and a few other things, and he ended up in a case. I don't like talking about demonic anything online too much. People get too curious and do stupid shit. But he put out a book called Satanic Warfare, Tactics of the Demonic, Lessons Learned. He ended up getting approved by the Catholic Church to go through their exorcism program, and he's not Catholic. Along with many other things, he's helped people along the way, and he overcame amazing things himself. They actually did a bunch of TV episodes and stuff about him, and it was so incredibly fantastic. And with anyone else, it wouldn't be believable, except he has incredible eyewitnesses. He and I talk. I don't want to get into more than that, but so his book's on Amazon. I believe it's available worldwide. I think that would behoove you to read that and maybe buy your friend a copy. So it doesn't matter where he moves. But the Bill Vail case is very, very close, along with several other cases of people who don't want their actual names out. Yeah. I mean, it's. I think the paranormal sort of world is a bit, as I say, a bit complicated at the moment. I'm trying to sort of section things off, as I said to you before. Shadow people, yeah, it's paranormal. Because we look at things in different ways, but I don't think they're ghosts. And I've got a few UFO films that I haven't shown yet, which is we sort of have our sort of little discussions on UFOs as well. I mean, my buddy Phil on the team, he says, "Why would anyone come here, for Christ's sake?" You know, and we've all seen
the new Pentagon films on the Tic Tac and things like that, which is all a little bit crazy at the moment. Is it us? Is it something else? But it's sort of hard to explain everything. I just look at one thing at a time, and on every investigation we do, it's just on that investigation. I don't bring in anything else on other investigations. Each one is fresh to me. We try and make it a little bit different, try and use some different devices and stuff like that. But as I say, shadow figures for me are not ghosts. God knows what they are. We're just going to keep on going, I guess. What can you do after capturing them sort of EVPs? I mean, I'm not too sure what you guys would do if you got that yourself. And would you turn around to yourself and say, well, that's the end of that then? Right, we got our evidence. Let's pack it all in. But at the same time, we enjoy going to these so many different places and learning the history. We have a lot of fans that just watch us for the 15, 20 minutes at the beginning of the whole history of something and say, that is brilliant. We love the history, but we don't watch the rest of the show. And it does open your eyes a little bit, because I was never into history at all. But when you're doing this sort of thing, you learn about the history, and you find out things. So that makes it all a little bit more sort of a little bit interesting, fantastic. But yeah. I mean, I guess we're just carry on, and what else can we find?
I think for you guys, maybe something with more concrete contact, because like those EVPs are amazing, but something two-way, that has to be the goal for that sort of thing. But I feel quite bad about doing this, because you only joined halfway through, and this is dead interesting. But we're going to have to try and wrap this up a bit now, because we've gone 2 hours 20 minutes.
This is the longest one we've done.
The longest one we've done.
Boom.
Hey, listen, I've got a rump steak and chips and gravy sitting there, and I ain't had it yet.
Oh, mate, don't enjoy it. If everyone would like to tell the listeners where they can find your individual stuff, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check out Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations on YouTube. I think we must have about 124 episodes there for everyone to watch.
Ours isn't up yet, but it will be very shortly, in a couple weeks. It's going to be Black Star Paranormal.
Okay, hey, listen, Dave. When you get it up and going, can you send me a little link?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Our stuff will be. I don't know yet. I have a suspicion it's going to be a little bit darker than most things.
Don't worry, I'll guide you. And don't forget, Ollie, I'm still in contact with 30 East Drive, the most haunted, evil paranormal place in Europe. I'm still in contact with them. When we do come up to Pontefract, up your way, you will be coming in for 2 days and spending the night with me and my team. It's still in negotiation.
Yeah, so when you come to the Leeds area, that's like right down my neck of the woods. So the Dave's warned me about this and said, do not stay in that house.
Do you know what? I've always had a little bit of a saying, even though I do get a little bit scared and a little bit jumpy at places we go to. Stand your ground, and just stand your ground. Do not move, no matter what happens. And you know what? They back off. If there's anything nasty,
I'll go get Jeff.
They won't touch you. They won't touch you. Be positive. That's what I say, and they always leave you alone in the end.
Well, Jeff, we'll have to get you back on Alien Addict as well. But that's where you can find me, Lee. Alien Addict. That's all I'm going to do. You can find me on Mossy Audio as well because...
yeah, it's all the stuff's on Mossy Audio. All the Alien Addict stuff's there as audio there. Yeah, cheers for coming on, guys. Thanks for joining in on the show as well, Jeff. That was really, really good of you.
Cheers, Lee.
I'll see everybody later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, fellas.
Acast recommends LGBTQ+ creators who are making an impact this month and beyond. Tune in for your new favorite show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sean T, and I wanted to tell you that my podcast, Trust and Believe, is all about uplifting you to the next level of who you are. Whether it's a solo show with me telling you about things that are happening in my life and how to get through them, or if it's with one of my amazing guests, at the end of every show, you will learn the tools that you need to push through just to get through another day or maybe another month. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You can always come to my show to feel great about yourself, to always believe in yourself. And at the end of the day, know that you are your power. So join us on the show and get ready to trust and believe.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.